Hey, how you doing? Andy Whitehead here from recruitmentmarketinginternational.com. So, this podcast, this video cast is a little bit different. This is about just how fucking tough it is right now. Just how fucking tough it is right now. So, you've got your own recruitment search business and you're either in the place to get to survive or you're the place to fucking thrive. How cliche is that? But that's truth. And because you're a recruitment search entrepreneur, even if you're looking to now thrive, I bet you're not happy with your performance. I bet you're frustrated because last year you might have trebled your business and you're still saying to yourself, but why didn't we quadruple? That's what we do. That's what we do in this space. So kudos to you if you're in that space. But also if you're looking to survive, you're thinking the equivalent. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? If only I did this. If only I kept that. What if this? So what we're doing, we're full of what ifs. So right now, our industry is being hit in a massive way. And I read an article, that a third of recruitment jobs in Australia have been lost. And we've got all these different things going on, all these different scenarios. Now, one thing that I'm a massive proponent of, and I fail at this every single day. It's almost cathartic doing this. You know, for those of you who know me, I've not really been active on social media for years. This year with what's happened with the lockdown, I've never worked harder. I was speaking with my members probably 8-10 hours a day, every single day. And what happened on these calls was the following. Each call was largely not about strategy. It wasn't about a template or about an automated campaign or about a webinar or about a candidate strategy or about a conversion strategy or about a client attainment system. It was about them and their world, because unfortunately, we're human beings, and right now it's fucking tough. It's fucking tough. And I'm swearing for a reason on this. It's to really make the point. That's how I feel, and it's how you feel, whether you swear or not. Don't mean to offend. I'm using it more to demonstrate what's going on in our heads as recruitment search entrepreneurs. So it's fucking tough. So how do we deal with that? Now, I'm in no ways fucking Tony Robbins on this at all. When I left the corporate world 12 years ago, I think it was 13 years ago now, I spent a year mentoring kids in Liverpool. I've got a commendation from the Lord Mayor of Liverpool for helping kids, which is fabulous. Unfortunately, I tried to turn that into a business also. I couldn't turn it into a way that supported the life that I wanted. So I went back to what I knew, which is this, which is digital, and everything that followed, okay? So I've always known that this drives fucking every outcome. But I also know that I believe I'm the most positive go-getting person in the world. And I've also sat in a fucking dark room and I've cried in tears. Decade ago now, over different things. Wasn't a lockdown. It could have been though. So I get that anyone can go from this to this. I get it, and I get that massively, which is why I'm saying this right now. So what have I seen in the last year? I probably had 200 calls with members, maybe more than that across 8 months. In fact, a lot more than I think about it, across 8 months, and I've never worked so hard in my life. So what did I see from people I spoke to? So I'm speaking with members who joined me as a startup. I'm speaking to members who are doing 5 million. What did I get from those calls? What did I experience? What did I see? What was the solution? Well, first of all, I don't know whether the solution was the solution. It's too early to say. But what I did see was virtually every single call was not about a business strategy. It wasn't about a template. It wasn't about a conversion strategy. It wasn't about this module. It wasn't about that conversation we had. It wasn't about that mastermind session. It was about this creating overwhelm. And when we have overwhelm, we get paralysis. Now, what happened to me 10, 12 years ago, I was given advice from a boyfriend of someone, and I went down to Thailand, and Went to an island called, the first one was called Koh Phangan, and the Muay Thai place was called Sunrise. I had to actually climb up, I had to fly down to Bangkok, then fly to wherever it was, south Thailand, then get a boat across to Koh Phangan, then get a boat around to a cliff. Literally, there were steps in the cliff, and I had to climb up this cliff face, and then you go through a jungle for about 200 to 300 yards, and then you find this little building, and then you see the ring, and that's it. And I was there, and I'd never done Muay Thai before. Why am I telling you that? I've got balls of steel. I'll take on anything. How can 6 months before I'm sat in a dark room crying, thinking my life's ended, everything's shit? How can that happen? How can I go from being the kid who left my hometown, worked in a Tesco's warehouse, supermarket warehouse, one day saying, fuck this, I'm off to London, and I worked in the biggest Japanese bank in the world within a couple of weeks? How can that happen? Someone like that be then on their knees, literally crying. How can I do that? Do you know why? It's because I give a shit. I give a shit. I was trying to have responsibilities for people at the time, and I couldn't do it. So I'm a massive believer, having gone through this, if I can go through that, anyone can go through that. Anyone. And then say that guy, go down to Thailand, did that, and I went to Sunrise, I did 2 weeks there, and I went to Lamai Gym in Koh Samui, did 2 weeks there, broke my foot on day one, by the way, doing Muay Thai, got hooked on it. But the principle is this: that's the real me. But a few weeks before, I'm crying. So right now, there will be people in our recruitment search world who are doing the same, and you are on your fucking knees, and I feel you, and I don't say this lightly, I fucking feel you. I've been there, and I've had my own struggles through this whole lockdown. It's a daily battle, and I never use words like battle, but we're all going through something that we've never experienced before. So if you're there, I fucking feel you. Know this, and it's easy me saying this, but you will come out the other side. You just got to hang in there, and it's like John Kavanagh, Conor McGregor's, whether you like the guy or not, it doesn't matter. But John Kavanagh is his coach, and one of the things he says with his fighters, when they lose a fight, they're absolutely destroyed. And he says it's important that when things are fucked up, that you experience it, you let it wash through you, and then you come out the other side. So that's almost what I did 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Right now, though, it's washing every fucking day. It never ends. We're in this fucking lockdown. It's never ending. We can't let it wash every day. So how do we get through this? So I think you've got two ways of dealing with this. Number one is you let it wash through every morning for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever your number is. You let it wash through, and you give yourself almost time to grieve and go, right, this is fucking unprecedented. I didn't call this. This is not me. I didn't call this. This isn't fair. You have 15 minutes, 30 minutes of that. You let it wash through, number one. Number two, you don't let that into your vicinity, and you almost just you fake it till you make it. You wake up like Iron Man and you fake it. Then you're probably gonna have a big blowout and fucking break down whatever your thing's gonna be in a month or 2 months. But let your spouse know, darling, I'm going through a fucking tough time now. It's how I'm gonna deal with it. I've got two options, this or this. The way that I operate, I know that if I start 15 minutes of grieving each day, it's going to proliferate throughout the day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my best version of me, but I'm probably going to explode over the dog shitting on the carpet or something. But no, I love the dog, okay? But we've got to be clear, we're human fucking beings on this. And I just think, at the end of the day, we've got a valve in us. And the analogy I've used with my team over the years is, I messed up one of my team members. The analogy we spoke about was like filling the glass full of water, and it starts to come over the side. At some point, given right now, it's going to come over the side. So what I say is, make a plan, 15 minutes a day, or you fucking wake up, Iron Man. But know it's going to come. You're going to have it, because we're human beings, and you need a valve. It's going to come. And let those around you know it's going to come. And when it comes, darling, if you could do this, I'd love you for it. So they know it's going to come. It's not about you. I'll say it's about you, but it's not. It's not about you. It's because I want to provide. I want our mortgage paid off. I want to take care of our kids. I want to be the best father in the world, but I can't do it. I'm worried about losing the business. I'm worried about this. So what that does is give you freedom to operate as a human being, and know that those around you are not going to be on eggshells, because it's going to come and you've told them, number one. So with that, what does that give us? It gives us our head being a bit clearer. So when our head's clearer, we can make more rational decisions and we can act in a more controlled, proactive manner. So I always think input, process, output. So with that, if you've got a bit more space, right, today, I've got 4 hours. That's all I've got because of the kids, because I've got responsibilities at home. I've only got 4 hours. In those 4 hours, what are the top 5 things I need to do today? Bam, 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 bam. Forget being a perfectionist. Bam, done. Bam, done. Now, because you're an entrepreneur and because you started this business, and again, if you're a startup, your mindset will be different from someone who's listening now who's 3 million, and you now know that it's a time to get to 10 million because people fall out of the market. So your minds will be in completely different places. But here's the thing that is similar and the same. The thing that's similar and the same is the following. You've only got a discrete set of time to do a discrete set of activities. So you make sure that you're doing the primary activities, 80-20 rule, primary activities, number one. Number two, because we're entrepreneurs, and what I've seen over the years is we want to be perfect. We want everything to be perfect. I've had companies come to me or business come to me, start with zero. They get, what's your outcome? I want to get 100K in the first year. So get the 100K, say after 5 months. It's very rare that someone turns around to me and say, not that I'm great, but it's very rare someone turns around to me and say, Andy, I'm so proud of myself. Or Andy, thanks for being part of my journey. Or Andy, I can't believe that I've done it. Because when they get a 75 grand, they're already thinking about getting a 250. And when they're at 150, they're thinking about getting to 400. They never stop well, my American friends say celebrate. Because I'm a cold Brit, I look at it as, right, what are the factors that made us get to this point so we can replicate them? But my American friends say, right, let's celebrate and do more of it. I'm thinking logistically and systematically, right, what did I do to get here? How do I make it 50% better and redo more of it in the next 6 months? But we never do it as entrepreneurs. So when you take these 5 actions each day in your 4 hours, know you've got 4 hours. And know this, you can't really do much more. Now, the devil in your head is going to be saying, Andy, fuck you, because I still might lose my house. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But the one thing that I've seen over the years, I'm a massive believer in the subconscious, I'm a massive believer in quantum physics, and you might think that's all bullshit, and that's fucking cool, is this. If you fucking don't give up, if you just fucking hang in there, you're going to survive. If you survive, you're still in the game. If you're still in the game, you've now got the ability to grow. Because unfortunately, in this time, there'll be people now who give up and they're going to point 100 fingers at you. And there are people now who go, right, I've got fucking 2 options. I've got to remember Craig. Craig had 5 barren months. Then in December, January, 160K. Boom! Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Now, there are some tactical reasons, but also back against the wall means we do certain things differently. And for Craig, I've got nothing but massive love and big man fucking respect. So here's the thing. I'd say to you this. What I just said, give yourself the ability to either take 30 minutes a day or fucking, Iron Man, Iron Woman each day. Tell your partner, I'm going to fucking blow at some point. It's nothing to do with you. It's because I'm taking care of our family. When it happens, I'm going to be a dick. I'd love you to respond in this way. Number 2, each day, you got your 4 hours, whatever you got. Do the fucking 80-20 rule. Number 3, whatever you do, you're not going to be happy with it. You're an entrepreneur. You will not be fucking happy with what you do. Know that animal up front. You won't be happy with whatever you do. You won't be happy. You just fucking make sure that the next day, you're there for those 4 hours. So if you've got, for example, a thing whereby you finish work and you have a bottle of wine, cool. Everybody does that. If it's going to impact you tomorrow, no. I'm fucking here. I'm fucking there for those 4 hours tomorrow. If you do those 4 hours every day and you do the top 5 activities every day, ironically, when you look back in a month, 2 months, it's probable you're more productive than what you were pre-fucking lockdown. But you've got to use those 4 hours. You don't fuck about on Facebook. You don't fucking go on Google. You literally go, right, 5 things, bam, 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 bam. Systematic. And again, a thing I've seen over the years from literally working one-to-one with 1,000+ businesses now, literally myself, gone through every fuck up you can imagine with businesses. I failed 10 times more than being successful. That one thing, persistence. That persistence. And I believe that comes down to what you put in your head comes out as an action. What you put in your head comes out of an action. And the way that you start your day will dictate how your day goes. So if you wake up in the morning and you're on your bed and you fucking go for emails, fuck that, stop that. You get out of bed, alarm goes off, you might snooze the first few days. Right, first thing, you go to YouTube, motivational videos. For me, it's a guy called Matthias ZM. There's one in particular called Vision. I know every fucking word. The minute I hear that fucking play noise at the beginning, I'm fucking on it. Get yourself reprogrammed. Persistence. Everybody's going through what you're going through, but know this. I may know you, I may not know you, but I'm fucking giving you all my energy right now because I've been through what you're going through, and you will get through this. If you haven't gone through a dark day yet, you probably will. And every successful entrepreneur that I look up to, so guys that are doing things I can only dream of. I had a guy called Andy Shaw years ago. I bought a lot of property 13, 14 years ago. I bought a book by a guy called Andy Shaw. Then I was at an event in London. There's a guy, it was, I think it might have been E.T., the hip hop preacher, or it might have been, anyway, I was sat in the front row, next to me is Andy Shaw. Remember, he had cowboy boots on. Anyway, go and find him, really cool guy. He's written a book called The Bug-Free Mind. So Andy, I bought your book and bought all these properties. Anyway, we went to, on the way home, we got synchronicities, went to Marylebone Station, I think it was. We had a load of beers, had like 8-9 pints, and then we sat there chatting for hours, missing our trains, had a great old chat. And Andy'd gone through this rapid rise, then he'd gone through a dip. And I remember saying to Andy, he's like, but he's really, I'm mentee of him. So Andy, you've had Act 1. So every film, every Rocky film starts with what? Our hero's doing okay. Act 2, he fucking loses it all. Act 3, he gets it all back and then some. So if you're in Act 1, you're probably have an Act 2. It's going to come. If you're in Act 2, you just fucking make sure Act 3 happens. But it's on you. And as weak as you might feel, as weak as you might fucking feel, you got more in there than you fucking know. Because 100% of your bad days, you've got through. And you're listening to my way too quick speaking voice, but 100% of your bad days you've got through. You're still here. There's a reason for that. So with that said, persistence. Now, if you want to connect a bit closer, I'd like to speak to myself, one of my coaches, specifically about what I've been through or about client strategies or candidate strategies, head to recruitmentmarketinginternational.com. So that's recruitmentmarketinginternational.com/meet, MEET. recruitmentmarketinginternational.com/meet. And we'll jump on a 15-minute call. Before that, I'll ask you some questions, understand what you need, where you're at. But know this, you're an entrepreneur for a reason. You're an entrepreneur in recruitment for a reason. Think about all the candidates you've helped and took them on their own fucking direction, on their own life. All the clients you've helped, made their life easier, saved their jobs. You're here for a reason. You don't know the impact you've had on their lives. So persistence. Wake up, put good stuff in your head. Got your back. Stay tough. Stay in it.